So if I'm going to ask you to pray about how God wants to use you in the Dare to Dream endeavor, then obviously I need to do the same. And I have been doing that, praying about this campaign and praying about how God wants to use me. I've also been praying about the gratitude I feel in response to the ministry of Suntree Church. In terms of the history of Suntree, 40 years and counting, I'm something of a newcomer. I didn't grow up in this church, was not nurtured and raised in the faith here, nor were my children. But I did grow up in a church that did that nurtured, loved, and blessed me in my faith development. That church invested in me, sending me on mission trips, providing an amazing youth ministry experience, and later supporting me in my call to ministry through a small scholarship for my seminary training. I would venture to say that without the nurture, love, and faith passed on to me through that congregation, I'm not sure I would be here today. So I know how important it is for churches to nurture, bless, and care for young people. And when I look back over the history of Suntree Church, I see that kind of ministry, not just for children and teens, but for folks of all ages. Suntree UMC is an incredible church and was an incredible church with a far-ranging and impactful ministry long before I arrived here in 2015. Now, for the last 9 years, I've been privileged to serve this great church as a pastor and to walk alongside all of you as a fellow follower of Jesus. When I say I've been privileged, I mean that. It has been and continues to be a joy and a privilege to be part of the work that God is doing in this place, to encourage people in their relationship with God, to support and care for folks when they're hurting, to walk along beside folks as they grow in their relationship with Christ, and as they discover and use their gifts to serve God and others. It is a joy to see children and youth grow in their experience of God's love for them. It is a joy to see young families find a home where they know their children will be accepted and nurtured in the faith. It is a joy to serve alongside you and to watch you love and serve one another and the community through ministries of care and compassion, like our care ministers and memorial reception teams. By spending the night with families experiencing a housing crisis through Family Promise, or by serving hungry people at Daily Bread, or chaperoning youth missions trips, or providing support and encouragement to sister churches in Cuba or orphans in Rwanda. I've also been on the receiving end of the compassion and support of this church as I face losses in my own life. I know, not just as a pastor, but as a fellow sojourner, the power of the ministry of Christ in this place. And that is why I'm making a financial commitment to Dare to Dream. Because just as this was an amazing faith community before I came here, I want to make an investment that will help ensure that this kind of mission and ministry will continue for another 40 years, well after I've retired and moved away. I'm committing to Dare to Dream because I want God's work through this church to continue to grow and thrive in the years to come. I have an opportunity to leave a legacy through my gifts that will bless future generations long after I'm gone. I want to free up future leaders to dream God-sized dreams and visions for the future. And my gifts to Dare to Dream can make that possible. It is a faith commitment. The financial commitment I'm making is a stretch for me, but it's a commitment I'm being led to make, trusting that God will make a way for me to fulfill it. And it's a commitment I'm excited to make out of my immense gratitude for the work that God has done and will continue to do through this church.